For our journal, we are going to be creating signatures that are 5.5 by 4.5 inches once they are folded. So inside your journal, you're going to find 5 individual signatures that we hand stitch in place. The tools you're going to need for this include a metal square, a bone tool for folding the crease on the journal paper, a utility knife, and a marking utensil. We are going to measure and mark at 5.5. Then I'm taking my metal square, lining up and making sure those edges are square. Open up my utility knife and make the cut that you need. You will need 5 of these signatures cut. You could use a paper cutter for this process. Next, fold the paper in half, lining up those corners, and using your bone tool, you are going to fold that crease with that bone tool. You will need 5 signatures total for this project. You should have a total of 5 signatures cut out and folded with your bone tool. Each signature actually has, with this newspaper stock, 13 pieces of paper that I folded together. If it's a heavier stock paper, then I would suggest going with 10 pieces of paper for each of your signatures. Our next thing we need to do is measure 1 inch down and create a hole through each of the pieces of paper in your signature. I'm going to do that by measuring 1 inch down with my ruler and making a mark, then utilizing a hole punch with my mallet in order to drive those holes through the piece of paper. I will be doing this on my cutting board because you do not want to damage the surface that you're working on. Go ahead and set up your equipment. So I have my cutting board in place. I'm going to lay down my signature, measuring down 1 inch from the top, as well as 1 inch from the bottom, and making a mark. At this point, I'll take my hole punch with my hammer, and I'm going to make a nice hole through the entire. I will do that on each of my signatures, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, 1 inch from the edges. Go ahead and prepare your signatures now, and then we'll move on. As you can see, I have my holes punched in each of my signatures. I will now take my signatures and place them aside for final assembly later on.